Hey guys, this is the notes for 11.4. If you're having trouble following along, this hopefully will help with that. So I'm going to share my screen with you on the notes. This is what you should be seeing right now whenever you look at the notes. We're going to be talking about multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So to multiply fractions, remember that you just multiply numerators and denominators. Use the same method to do these rational expressions. So remember, if you're multiplying these two things, you would just multiply x times 4x squared, which will give you 4x to the third. 2x minus 3 times 5 would give you something that looks like this. So remember, you just go straight across on the top, straight across on the bottom, and that's how you multiply. So we're going to look at a couple of examples of finding the product whenever we are given rational expressions, which means we have polynomials and things involved. So first one that we're going to do is r squared x over 9t to the third times 3t to the fourth over r. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to divide by common factors before we actually do the multiplication. So I've tried to pair them up for you. R squared and r, I can cancel those out and reduce those. The 3 and the 9, both of those in green, those can be reduced, and also the t's can also be reduced. So if I canceled out r squared over r, that would just leave me with 1r up here on the top. Obviously, I still have my x, it didn't go anywhere. For my t's, I had t to the fourth and t to the third, which left me with 1t up at the top. And for my digits, I had 3 over 9, which left me with just a 3 on the bottom. There was no r left here, which is just a 1. So now that you have reduced everything, this makes it a lot simpler to multiply, and you just multiply straight across. So rx times t will give me rxt, and 3 times 1 would just give me 3. Okay, so the second example that we're going to look at is a plus 4 over a squared times a over a squared plus 2a minus 8. So whenever we are multiplying these, the first thing that we're going to do is factor in the denominator. So whenever we are factoring, we're going to factor like we did in the last lesson. So we're going to see what multiplies to give me negative 8 and adds up to a positive 2. So if I factor that, I end up with a plus 4 times a minus 2. And if I cancel those out, a plus 4, so those will cancel. And also I can reduce the a over a squared. So I've got 1 over a times 1 over a minus 2. That is what I have left. If I multiply that straight across, 1 times 1 will give me 1. A times a minus 2 would give me this, or you can also simplify that to be a squared minus 2a. Now, you can also do the same thing with division. And remember, to divide a fraction, you're multiplying by the reciprocal. A lot of you learn this in middle school as keep, change, flip. So you are going to keep the first fraction, you are going to change the symbol from division to multiplication, and then you're going to flip the second fraction around so that you are multiplying by the reciprocal. So that's what we're going to be using to divide rational expressions, which basically means that we're still doing multiplication. So first thing that we're going to look at here is 4 over 15 into the third divided by 12 over 25n. So I'm going to do my keep, change, flip first, and then I'm going to worry about my canceling and reducing. So I'm going to keep this one, I'm going to change this to multiplication, and this is now going to become 25n over 12. Then I'm going to pair of things that I can cancel and or reduce. So I've got 4 and 12 that can be reduced. I've got 25 and 15 can be reduced, and n and into the third can be reduced. So whenever I look at these, 4 and 12, if I reduce that, that leaves me with a 3 in the denominator. 25 and 15, both of those can be reduced down by 5 or divided by 5, so that would leave me with 5 here and 3 here. And n and n to the third would leave me with n squared in the denominator. Once I have reduced everything, I just have to multiply like I've been doing. It's really important that you do your keep, change, flip first, and then do your reducing. So when I multiply straight across, 1 times 5 is going to give me 5. 3n squared times 3 is going to give me 9n squared. Second one that we're going to look at here is 2x plus 6 over x squared divided by x plus 3. So this one's a little bit different because this is not a fraction, so we need to make it a fraction to start with. So we're going to write it as a fraction by putting it over 1, and then we're going to do our keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep our first one, change our symbol to multiplication, and then we're going to flip it, which will leave this as 1 over x plus 3. Factor what we can and then cancel. So this actually can be factored right here. 2x plus 6 can be the same as 2 times x plus 3. That helps me out because now the x plus 3's can cancel. and I'm left with 2 over x squared times 1, which is essentially just 2 over squared. So your homework that you're going to do, it's only 8 questions in the book. Make sure you submit it on Google Forms whenever you are done. It's on page 701. If you don't have your book, then I do have a copy for you posted on the assignment page. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you guys later.